by China and Russia. So let's take a look for CRG929. And today we also have a special guest, the project manager from the development of CR929, Mr. Wu. Today is a special day for all the viewers because we have the chance to take a look at the long-range wide-body aircraft. Please give us some introduction about the CR929. So first, let's take a look at the operating room. So for this wind-proof window, it is of a high technology. It can help to reduce the resistance of the aircraft. And we also have a 4 piece of displays. And also we have a touch screen steering display. And we also have 2 controlling sticks. And for the chairs, this is also quite advanced. It is a automatic controlling chair. And also we are using the Bayi navigation system in the aircraft. And for the overall shape, it is in a 6-side. So I would like to experience how it looks. As you can see, this aircraft is a wide-body aircraft. We have a very spacious area. And for all of the equipment in this area, the purpose is to release the burden for the pilot. I can feel that it is quite spacious inside of the cabin. We also have a very good vision. As you can see, this is a streamlined design, so you can get the 360-degree view from the co-pilot's area. It will help to release the resistance from the aircraft. Let's get inside of the cabin and take a look. We also apply a series of technologies in this room. So it will be more comfortable in using the lavatory, and also you have a sensor. So when you swipe across the garbage area, so it is easy for you to operate. Sometimes when you washing hands, you just don't want to touch the garbage bin. So if it is a sensor system, it is quite convenient for us to use it. And we also have a rolling curtain, which is also automatic. It will provide better appearance for this area. And you can control this area by using the touch screen. We just want to provide a better experience for the customers when they are flying with the CR929. And for the ceiling, it actually represents the aspiration for the cooperation between China and Russia. And on the front side, you have a very large service counter. We want to provide a spacious place for customers to stretch their bodies and do some exercise in this area. Well, it is very comfortable, just like you're sitting in a bar. So this is the first class area. It's just like you're sitting inside of a room, and you can lay your body completely. And Alright, I will sit inside of the first class cabin, and you have a wireless projection. So now I'm holding a wireless phone. For example, if I want to watch a movie, I can use the projector. If we want to listen to music, we can make some change in the model. So now it is in a music mode. It is quite customized and convenient for the customers. So all of these connections are wireless. It is more convenient for us. So you can use your mobile phone to control it. And you can put your mobile phone for a charge in this area. And of course, I can lay down completely. I will make the demonstration. As you can see, it is quite spacious inside of this area. I can lay down completely. And you have a portable table. You can work here. You can put your computer here and also some snacks. If you're traveling with your partner, you can actually lift the shelter, so we will not interrupt with each other. But of course, you can unfold this area and have some conversation with each other. And also you can close the door so that you can ensure that there is a private space. When you open the door, you can just step out from this private room anytime you want. And also for the screen, it is quite large size. We think this is the largest size of the display screen. So for all of this area, these are the first class. Now we have entered the area of the business class. Also for the chair, you can lie down completely. The experience that you lie down here is the same as you lie down in the first class. It can help you to relax. I would like to take a try. So for the design in this area, it is quite similar to the design for the first class cabin, right? In this area, I can do wireless charging of my mobile phone, right? And here we have a very convenient design for the luggage area. Let's try this. This is a very good design. For example, for ladies, sometimes it's very difficult to put the luggage on top of the luggage area. But for this design, it's quite convenient for me to do it. And I just press it, and it will cover my luggage. Very convenient. Now let's take a look at the economy. So we have 9 seats on each row. as this aircraft is very spacious. And now we have like 2 aisles here. As you can see, sometimes there are some like catering services, and the catering cart will have to pass through the aisle. If there is a catering aisle and the passenger is very difficult to pass through the aisle. However, this is a wide-body aircraft, so for this area you can accommodate a catering cart as well as a passenger. So it's very convenient. So on one hand, the catering cart can pass in the aisle. At the same time, the passenger can also pass this aisle. In summary, we just want to provide a better service and better experience for all the passengers. I can feel it is quite spacious here. Sometimes passengers do not want to choose the seat in the middle. It is quite awkward. I believe most of the people would like to choose the economy class. Let's see what's the difference of CR929 compared with other aircraft. So as you have mentioned, most of the people will choose the economy class, so we have to make sure that we have enough space. And also, we just want to provide a better experience for the people who are sitting in the middle. And for the screen, the design is also a touch screen. So can you give us some demonstration? Alright, we will do it later. This screen is quite large. It is larger than a regular display screen. So for our touch screen, it is with a size of around 40 inch. Now let's take a look at the lighting system of the cabin. So the lighting will showcase different kinds of scenarios. For example, the sunset scenario and also the dining scenario. So for this light, it represents the dining atmosphere. And Mr. Wu just told us that in this aircraft we have created different scenarios for the passengers. We just want to provide a different look and feel for the passengers. So we just want to offer better experience for the passengers. For example, when we turn on the lights to create a dining scenario. So the light is quite soft. So let's check out the sunset scenario. This is a simulation of the sunset. Let's check out the evening mode. And you can actually see some stars.
This is the night time. It's like looking up at the stars at the night time. It looks real. How many models do you have? We have designed 10 models and scenarios. This is sunrise. It's like early morning. And this is when we have breakfast. This is the map. This is the normal mode when passengers board on the airplane. This is a new design. Let's look at the surroundings. Now let's look at the windows. If you press the button, then it's like you have already closed the window. You will not see through the window. But if you press it again, you can watch out. So it's totally smart design. So this is about the smart windows. CR929 is designed to stay in parallel with the most advanced aircrafts. So could you please brief us about this CR929's features co-designed by China and Russia? I think the biggest highlight of this aircraft is that we adopt the most cutting-edge technology. So many of those cutting-edge technologies evolved with the times, and we keep adapting ourselves to them. For example, many of those new smart devices, like the projection screen or the big full screen and the smart windows, are examples of how we design this aircraft to improve the comfortness of our passengers. For the new technologies of CR929, including the wireless engines and the composite materials, are all chosen to improve the performance of the aircraft. We focus on the wide body, safety, economy, and comfortness, as well as environment protection. We also want to reduce the weight, reduce emissions, reduce frictions, and resistance. So those are our designing philosophies. For CR929, what is the current stage of its design? What is the timetable for the aircraft? We are starting to choosing the suppliers. The initial design is already completed. I think you have already read online in April this year that the basic outlook, the materials of the CR929 were already determined together with Russia. Parameters have been set this year. That is a key step for us. Only when we have finished the identification of parameters can we go into the details. According to Mr. Wu, the outlook of the aircraft is already done. Later on, after the opening ceremony of this CR929, we're going to take you for more details. Another question is C919 last year had its first premiere flight, and for CR929 and C919, what is the relationship between the two aircrafts? That is a very good question. For aircraft manufacturer, the key is to guarantee that there are some relationship between similar aircrafts. In that way, we can reduce the cost of training and the cost of using different aircrafts. It can also maximize the technological functionalities. For C919, you could see online, it has an accommodation of 150 passengers. It's just like 737 aircraft. But for us, we can accommodate 280 seats, and we can fly for longer distance. So indeed, you can cross the borders with CR929. So you've mentioned about two basic concepts about the feeder liners and the cross-border aircrafts. By you mean those two are different types. So what is the other major differences between the two types? In the first-line cities in China, between the major transportation hubs, for example, from Beijing to Shanghai, or from Shanghai to Chengdu, or from Shanghai to Wuhan, then between cities, they would usually prefer trunk airliners. But as to feeder liners, maybe it means it connects you from Shanghai to the second-tier cities like Xiangyang, or you fly from Wuhan to Xiangyang within a short distance, then you would usually choose the feeder liners. Now we have C919 and CR929, and we have other similar types of feeder liners. CR929 is the major example of the wide-bodied airplane, so gradually we are trying to complete the whole set. The feeder liners are looking at covering all airports in China. For 919, it could take a first start from China and then cover whole Asia. For wide-bodied airplanes, well, we want to go global. We want to come to Europe, Africa, and the Americas. So those are like the three-step strategy. In the final analysis, we hope we could fly longer with a heavier weight of the airplanes and larger accommodation capacity. In the future, for the wide-bodied airplanes like CR929, in the middle, do you always adopt the similar design with such a wide distance between seats? It's like an alley. It serves as an emergency exit of this airliner, since it is a prototype with 1-to-1 simulation of the real airplanes. Now let's walk further to look at the details of the airplane. The opening ceremony is already on. Now, is CR929 at the same level with 787? We could be said to be approaching the world-class level, and compared to similar aircrafts, we have our strengths. What are our competitiveness? We certainly have some competitive aircrafts. Airbus 350, comparing with Boeing 787. We could see the audiences are about to come in, and later on we're going to follow those group of people to have more closer look at the layout of the passenger plane. Let's wait a moment. We're going to take you further to look at the exhibition of CR929. I think later on there will be some audience to be the first group of passengers boarding on this airplane. We're going to interview them. For the air show here being held in Zhuhai, we are going to, for the first time, see the opening ceremony of CR929, the wide-bodied prototype. Now, we are in the cabin of CR929. And very soon, the first group of passengers are going to board on the plane to experience the cabin. We also hope that we could listen to the feedbacks of those passengers. Since this CR929 is co-developed by China and Russia, that's why on site we are seeing some Russian partners and experts. Good morning, we are live streaming. I saw some guests. Mr. Chen, hello. May I interview you for a moment? Today marks a significant day for CR929. For this event, to you, since you are now boarding on the cabin, do you think it meets your expectation? What do you think of its future? This prototype of CR929 has totally been meeting the expectations of us. I think it has already reached the most advanced level for all similar wide-bodied airplanes. What is the current plan for such airplanes? For R&D and for the Chinese government. The Chinese government is at the stage of initial design and concept design with the suppliers together. Thank you. This is the chief designer, Mr. Chen Yanchun, for CR929. Thank you. Now let's walk into the front. Many people are showing their interest in this airplane. Hello, Mr. Hu. We are live streaming. This is Mr. Wu Guanghui, also a chief designer of CR929. What do you feel about it? I think it's a big leapfrogging development. This is much bigger, and it's co-developed by two nations. So technologically or as to the market, I think we are taking a further step forward. It's an important project for the sustainable development of commercial aircrafts. Thank you, Mr. Wu. As Mr. Wu said, CR929 for China's aviation sector is a leapfrog. Now let's take you down to the exhibition to see what CR929 looks like. Here we are. This is the head of the airplane.
Now we can take a closer look for CR929. From the appearance, it is quite similar to C919. This is a streamline design. It will help to release the resistance of the aircraft. So it is the advanced technology that we use for a design. Let's take a closer look at the design. So this is a prototype of CR929 with one-to-one simulation of the model. And also we see the prototype of the C919. So all of these three airlines are actually the jetliner series, C919 and CR929. So today we just have a closer look at the wide-body aircraft CR929 that was developed from China and Russia.
那我们知道这个81飞行表演队呢是组建于1962年，到今年呢已经大家可以算一下啊，38加18，56年了。这支飞行表演队承担了我国非常多的这个包括礼仪迎宾啊、重大飞行表演任务。
For the history of Bayi Aerobatics team.
他们也被称为
They also participating in many kinds of aerobatics performance.
这个确实
They are also considered as the god of honor for the sky.
大家今天这个
Today we do have a blue sky.
看得非常清楚。刚才还有一些云，现在云都散了。
And you will see very beautiful scenery for the aerobatics that was delivered by Bayi Aerobatics team. So for Bayi Aerobatics team, they're using J10 as the performance, and in the past they're also using the J5, J7, and now they're using the J10 as the performance. All of these fighters are developed by China. It is a test for the flying capacities for the aircraft that was produced by China.
它其实在这个之前呢飞过9机，9架飞机上下分组开化、水平开化，这些都是世界这个飞行表演的高难度动作。
And the Bayi Aerobatics team, they have used 9 different types of aircraft to do stunts up in the sky. In 2009, Bayi Aerobatics team started to use J10 as the performance. But from this angle, we may not see the big picture, and all of the fighters are ready for departure, and this is the closest distance that we can get. Let's see if we can get a closer look for the aerobatics team. All right. Now we can see they're still testing the aircraft.
Ah, 刚才也介绍了啊，说这个从这个09年啊，09年，对我没记错的话，应该是09年，这个8·1空飞行表演队呢开始飞。
As we have just mentioned,
马上就要10年了。
Bayi Aerobatics team has started to use J10 for performance. So it is around like 10 years for them to use the J10 as the performance.
好，那个针对网友的提出的问题呢，我们刚才也是做一个简单的解答。歼10 B 今天是有表演的。
We have seen some comments and questions from the viewers. And today we will also see some performance that delivered by J10B and also J20. And we will have new formation for the jetliners. The J20 will do some stunts today, but we are not sure about the time. Because all of the performance are subject to the weather conditions.
刚才其实呢，我们这个给大家介绍了一下81飞行表演队它的历史啊，是这个飞行员呢也非常著名啊。这些刚才也介绍过啊，这个飞行。
Just now we have gave you a brief history about the Bayi Aerobatics team, and we also have some well-known pilots for the team.
好，我们看到
So
这个飞
they're
机已经
cream
开
on
机
the
了，
top.
可以听到巨大的轰鸣声了，我不知道现在。 大家能不能听到？
Now the engine have started and we can hear the sound of the fighters.
可以看到尾焰形成的这个气流啊，尾焰形成的气流。
You can see the smoke has been emitted from the tail section of the fighter.
会看红鹰那边看得更明显一些啊，整个红鹰现在已经是处在一片虚化的状态下了。
Maybe it is quite obvious that you can see the airflow that was emitted from the red Falcon.
现在呢，我们其实看现场的很多的这个观众啊，包括媒体啊，已经是长枪短炮严阵以待啊，在期待的这个我们的。
There were many audience and
它是这个历来航展的
media are waiting for the
最
departure,
重头的一场活
and
动，
they are
同时也是
also
呢第一
looking
场活
forward
动
to the performance for J10. The J10 performance is actually the first big event that was happening for the Airshow today.
就是刚才我们在看到这个飞行员列队的时候呢，有一位队长啊，叫曹振中，他是这个特级飞行员，他飞的是一号机位，就是刚才
There
我
is
们
a
看到的
pilot,
这个
Mr. Tao,
编队三角形编队里
senior
面最顶
pilot.
尖的那个。
So he will drive the
现在看到
number
机务
one
开始
aerobatics aircraft.
啊，
So he's the
来
best
检测
pilot among the
飞
others.
机的状态。
You can see the working staff, they're still checking the conditions of the fighters. 其实我们大概给大家介绍一下今天飞行表演的项目啊，可能会有啊，因为我现在不知道方案2它是个今天确定的方案2，因为根据今天的 I will give you
天
some
气状
brief
况呢，最终
introduction
确定
about
的
the
这个
subjects
飞行
for
科目
the
的
performance. Still, we're not sure about the subjects that we'll be seeing because of the weather condition.
飞行表演队飞过的这些空中姿态呢，给大家之前在他们这个飞行员袖章上看到的这个三角形的一个布局，6机三角形，这个是比较简单的。
And now we can see a triangular formation. This is the basic subject that we'll be demonstrating today.
现在排成。 同时呢，我们还看到这个空中开花式，今天是肯定会有的，4级向上空中开花也有。
And also, of course, we will witness the blooming in the sky.
双机对开，一个歼10之吻，这个极限的距离里面，大家分开。
And also,
从远处看呢，
we
就
will
像
see a low altitude
接吻的一个
encountering
状
of
态。
the jetliners.
还有我之前印象比较深的呢，
So
就是
from a
这
far
个
distance, you will see two aircraft that are encountering with each other.
速度非常低，但是倾斜角度非常大，单机。
And also, we will have a sloping performance
也叫大仰角的一个飞行状
for
态
the
啊。
aircraft.
要知道，在飞行的速度非常慢的情况下，保持一个大仰角的状态，这个难度是非常高的。
A sloping angle aerobatics. This is also a very difficult flying technique.
现在头部的一个状态吧。哎，现在第一架飞机已经滑出了。
Let's check out the front part of the aircraft. Alright, now the first aircraft is ready to take off.
相反的方向去就行了。我们现在。 好，第一架，哎，紧接着1架、2架、3架12号机， 现在看到都已经滑出了。
Alright, all the aircraft, they're taxiing one by one.
第4架滑出4号机。 今天我们看现在的状态，应该是今天应该是6机表演，不是7架飞机啊，6机，因为比我们最近的这架5号机呢，现在没有飞行员，
6 jetliners
应该是6机表演，
for
那
the
就是
performance.
这个。
Because we don't see any pilots for the number 5 jetliner, so we will have 6 aircraft. So we will have a very typical 6 aircraft formation. So they will form a triangle. And also the hovering of the landing and the departure. Now we can see the 6th one is ready for departure as well.
我们看到现在其实还有空中还有客机啊，因为我们距离珠海机场非常近，其实就在隔壁。 我们看到这个歼10的已经滑向了它的起飞的跑道。
Also, we can see some civil airlines because we're very close to the Zhuhai airport. Now the J10 is ready for departure.
第3架，第4架。其实这个飞机呢，跟我们刚才这个飞行员
Let me count.
行走路
Now
线
we
是
have
一致
4
的。
ready.
现在机务开始撤离了。
Now they're at the takeoff runway.
现在视线里面还可以看到，肉眼还可以看到2架，估计这个手机可能看的不是特别清楚，已经去了这个远端跑道。
Now we can see
那也就是说呢
another 2 already. Maybe you're not clear about from your mobile phone. So all of these aircraft, they are ready for takeoff. Now they're heading to the runway.
好，那现在我们可以往前一点，我们能往前一点吗？我们可以到这个表演飞机的这个，因为5号机没有参加这个表演嘛。
Let's move closer.
带着大家来近距离看一下，因为现在这个6架表演的飞机呢已经离开我们的视线。
As number 5 aircraft is not participating in this performance, so maybe we can take a closer look at the number 5 aircraft. So the other 6 are ready for the performance.
现在信号还能再往前吗？能行吗？马流还可以啊，我们往前再走一走，再离得近一点来看一下。
Let's get closer.
无限一半啊，警戒线。现在看一下这个歼10啊，歼10也是我们的明星机。
So J10 is also considered as one of the star aircraft that we have in China.
我们往前走一走吧。啊？现在只剩下这个。现在随着这个歼10呢，去它的这个起跑线啊。 听到这个现场呢，这个开幕式呢马上就要开始了。
J10 is moving towards the starting line, and according to the information, the opening ceremony is about to be kicked off very soon. During the performance of J10, the opening ceremony will be on.
们现在听到现场响起了中华人民共和国国歌啊，在这里呢，我们也是。
We can hear the sound of the national anthem.
好，国歌毕啊，这个马上就要开幕了。其实，在主席台呢，我们之后呢也会带大家去近距离的感受一下，在这个动态展区，就是室外馆呢，有很多的这个武器装备。
Later on, we are going to take you to the opening ceremony and more exhibitions of those aircraft and weapons.
航展。
All of those military corporations in China will attend this air show.
现在已经完全看不到监视了，但是马上这个表演开始之后呢，我们会有宾来。
I cannot see the sight of J10 anymore. And after the performance, we will have some people interpreting this air show.
好在跑道中间的这几架飞机是什么飞机？我们现在离得远，看不太清楚。
What are those airplanes in the middle of the runway? I cannot see clearly the logo of these two aircrafts. They seem like passenger plane.
现在可以看到，就是红鹰表
The
的，它这
cell
个飞机也非
phones,
常
if I zoom in, cannot capture the logo.
但是
And the Red Falcon team is still in sight. It's a training airplane. It looks beautiful.
这个队伍非常年轻。
The Red Falcon was founded in 2011, and this year still marks the beginning year of its performance. And many of those pilots are the trainers.
也是非常壮观，非常漂亮的表演。
We have seen their performance before. It's very beautiful.
我们现在这个属于最近距离来看这个参与表演的飞机啊，这个现在跑道上。
This is the nearest we can stand.
一架这个机务走的全是直线，没有走斜线的啊。
They're walking straight.
那其实呢，除了飞机表演之外呢，军迷们可能还会非常关注。其实，在历届航展呢，都有一个传统的项目啊，在动态演示区会有装甲
In
战车的表
addition
演。
to the performance of the aircrafts, there are also some traditional performances. For example, the fighters. For example, the tanks VT4.
有3场表演，我记得好像是在今年的航展上会有3场。
We also have a specific dynamic exhibition with 3 performances arranged.
我们开玩笑说这个，
It's just like watching the war films.
那除了这个飞机和坦克大炮的表演之外呢，在场馆内还有一些
In addition to missiles, tanks, and airplanes, in the exhibition, there will be other shows, for example, the rainbow airplane. And another example is we're going to see the re-entry capsule. And just now you've already seen this year 929, the wide-bodied prototype airplane. So in this year's Airshow China, we have a lot of collections, from civil aviation to military aviation. Some of those products are entering this exhibition for the first time. I know you must be concerned about J10B. According to the information, after the flight of J10, J10B will start its performance from 10 past 10. There will also be a demonstration engine performance. The red Falcon is still on the side. The trainer's airplane will also show itself. This morning, we have a tight schedule for those airplane performances. In addition to the Bayi Aerobatics team, we will see the performance of some civil passenger airplanes show. Some of those civil passenger airplanes are also showing its first time in this year's Airshow China. For example, ARG-21, the feed liner, will also make its presence. There will be 3 passenger planes running for 2 years in the flight leading to Chengdu. There are also some airplanes that are not in operation yet. For example, Tianjiao Aviation Corporation and Urumqi Aviation, the newly coated 212 airplane. Another example is the Fierce Dragon from Pakistan Air Force. GF-7 Fierce Dragon will make his presence in the afternoon. As far as I know, for G20 that most of our viewers are quite interested in, is gonna be most popular, and its show will be started at 10 past 11 until 25 past 11. So far as I know, there will be about 15 minutes of its show, but the time may not be definite yet. In our camera, we could see J10 is ready. Like I said, there will be some professionals doing the interpretation. Now the microphone is back to them. It's cloudy. Good morning, everyone. Now we are at the 12th International Aviation and Aerospace Exhibition site. We are watching the performing airplanes, waiting for its signal, together with other Bayi Aerobatics team. We have Mr. Shen Yuanji, a pilot from Bayi Aerobatics team, doing the interpretation with us. In our camera, we can see 5 airplanes. How many in total do we have in this team? We have 6 airplanes. They will take off in 3 groups. They will have some angle for their taking off, and in the second group, there will be 2 airplanes taking off together. There will be big angle of elevation for the third group, respectively, and then those 6 airplanes will gather together. How much time does it take for us to watch it taking off 10 minutes later? What about the state of the engines? They're hitting. If it's small turning angles, it requires the engines to have high velocity. Zhuhai has a clear day today. I've been here in Zhuhai for 1 week, and today has the best weather, so that's a good condition for the air show. The clouds are at low altitude. When the airplanes enter the clouds, the audience cannot see the show anymore. So we will have to wait the clouds to dissipate. We have a backup plan for the vertical flight and highly difficult air shows. We will put them in the backup plan. So today, it's really a feat for all of us. 3 airplanes are waiting. You fly from Tianjin, right? How much time does it take you to prepare for the air show? Usually, we will start our preparation half a month before the air show with a lot of contents. 3 parts. Firstly, we will have to prepare for the transitioning, and secondly, for the task itself, and finally prepare for the returning. We hope to make a one-stop flight from Tianjin directly to Zhuhai. We do not have to make a stop in between the 2 cities. That's better for our transitioning. As we know, Air Force Bayi Aerobatics team was established in 1962 with a long history. It's responsible for many etiquettes or tour exhibitions in China and abroad. As such a special force, it has seen G5, G10, GEB, and G7. In 2010, it has come to the performance of G10. For J10 Performance, it was called the 3rd generation of fighter. What is the difficult part about J10 Performance? For fighters to become the performing airplane, particularly the 3rd generation fighter, there are only 3 countries managing that. One is the US, and secondly, Russian's Warrior team, and the third one is the J10 fighter performing airplane. For J10, as a 3rd generation product, it could manage a flight show at high altitude and high speed. For such a performance, in such a condition, it would be more wonderful, like the buzzing sound of the engine, and the look of this show would be more extraordinary than usual airplanes. The audience in this Airshow China are in large number. When did you start to come to this site? We left our hotel at 7:30 from the airport. For me, it took me about 1 hour to come here. So I started at 6:30, but when I arrived in this air show, it was already crowded. People come so early. This shows their expectation to this air show. Again, we are at the site of the 12th International Aviation and Aerospace Exhibition, Airshow China. The opening ceremony is on. And today, we are going to take our viewers to have first-hand experience of this air show. There will be the Bayi Aerobatics team performance starting from 10 to 10, and then we have J10B engine performance.
And also the J20, it is the 4th generation of the fighter. Let's stay tuned and experience the spectacular moments of the aerobatics performance. From the camera, you can see a Y-20, the transport vehicle. So the Air Forces have actually showcased different varieties of their fighters, aircrafts. For the Bayi aerobatics team, they have attended this air show on a regular basis. I think the Bayi aerobatics team has always been a participant for the air show in Zhuhai. So it attends around like 4 times of the air show in Zhuhai. It is actually a highlight for the performance of Bayi aerobatics team. So many people are very interested and concerned about the performance of J10 because J10 is developed by China. This also reflects the capability of military as well as the progress of the aviation industry in China. And we can see there are many upgrades for the aircrafts, and China has achieved remarkable progress for the 40 years of reform and opening up. So how many movements that will be taken by the Bayi aerobatics team? So they will make around 22 to 23 movements. Of course, that depends on the weather. Of course, this number of movements will be changed subject to the weather condition. So the duration for the performance will last for around 23 minutes. So from the screen, you can see the aircrafts are ready for departure. So this is the engine, the airflow that coming out from the engine. This is also a feature from the 3rd generation fighter. So we still have a few minutes for the performance to start, and the aircrafts are waiting for the announcement for the departure. And today at the 12th Airshow China, we will witness this spectacular moment that was delivered by the Bayi aerobatics team. And today we have a special guest from the Air Force, Bayi aerobatics team. We still have a few minutes. So for Bayi aerobatics team, it actually has attended many times of air shows since 2013, and they have also worked with other aerobatics teams from different regions for the performance. And each time we will see the performance from the television. So what is your personal experience in attending the performance? Well, I can feel the hospitality from other countries. And also, we can see the friendship between different countries for the Air Force. And in August, we actually attended an air show in Russia. We do have a very good relation with Russia. And also they speak highly about our performance. We're very familiar with the aerobatics team in Russia, and we do have a lot of exchanges with the Russia aerobatics team. I think in last time's Zhuhai Air Show, the team Russia also attended the performance. Right. Now we're still waiting for departure. Dear viewers, good morning. Now I'm at the 12th China International Aviation and Aerospace Exhibition. And today we have a special guest from the Air Force Aerobatics team in China. And today we will spend around like 20 minutes to witness the spectacular performance from J10 fighter.
Today 应该是珠海航展，从我31号到，就是我到珠海，从31号到现在天气最好的一天。刚才我们的那个沈元杰介绍过哈，就是。
I have arrived in Zhuhai on the 31st of October. Actually, today we have a very good weather today. So we think the aerobatics team will add more movements and stunts for the performance. So please stay tuned and look forward to the excellent performance. Now the 6 fighters are ready. They are waiting for the departure. According to the formation plan, the first group will depart first, and the second group will depart following the first group, the number 2 and the number 5 fighter, and at last, the number 6 fighter will depart. I think it requires a very high level of pilot skills for number 6 because it has to do a high angle elevation immediately after it takes off. Now we are at the parking field for the 12th Airshow China in Zhuhai, and also we see a large UAV parking at the field. Now you can see it is crowded on site. Everyone is waiting for the moment for departure. Some people are asking about the functionalities of J10. So, how will J10 demonstrate its functionalities? As you can see, there were 2 extra wings attached for J10 compared to other kind of aircraft. So this will help to improve the maneuvering capability of J10. As a fighter, maneuvering capability is very important. It will help J10 to take advantages when it was dive up to the sky. So what are the movements that will be demonstrated by J10 to showcase its maneuvering capability? Well, the turning angle is very small for J10. But of course, we have to consider the speed of the wind. And for the J10, it will also demonstrate a high angle elevation. The process is very fast. It takes around 2 to 3 seconds for the J10 to make a 70-degree turn. So for the wings for the J10, it's designed in a very special way, so it will help to lift the J10 in the upper level. So for the tail part, it will help to support the J10. So the front wing and the tail wing are using a special design. At the beginning stage, it requires a lot of training for the team to get used to the operation of J10. Alright, now let's take a look. The aircrafts are ready to depart. Now we can see the lights are on the fighter. Now we can see the first group of the fighters are ready, number 1, 3, and 4. So it will accelerate at the beginning. So what is the acceleration speed? It's around 2070 to 280. Now you can see the huge sound that produced by the engine. Alright, the 3 fighters are taking off successfully. So where are they going? After they're taking off, they will make a right turn. Alright, the second group, the number 2 and number 5. So for these 2 aircrafts, they will gather together with the first group. Alright, the last one, the number 6 fighter. You can see it has been accelerated and unfold the landing rack. Alright, immediate high angle elevation. This is over 70 degrees. Very beautiful. So immediately it accelerates and do diving in the sky. From my perspective, I think it is very difficult for the number 6 fighter. And also you can see there is a separation for the airflow of the fighter. So this means that this fighter has a very strong capability in maneuvering. Also, it has a very good loading capacity as well. Actually, we can still feel the huge sound that was generated by the fighters. So it has just made several turns, and now it's flying to meet the other 5 fighters. So the velocity of different aircrafts are quite different. So it has to make the big turn and change the elevation and meet up the other 5 fighters. So what's coming next for the formation? And also next we will have the low altitude flying for the 6 fighters. In this formation, you can see the number 2 fighter is a little bit below of number 1 fighter. So they have to adjust the trajectory for the flying, and for the other 2 are on the sides. So they have to correct the trajectory. It will help them to maintain the formation. Alright, now they are actually pulling the trail of the smokes to showing the respect for the audience.
What is the distance between the 6 planes? For the first airplane leading the way, it's basically in parallel with the other airplanes. There is no distance. They are going to change shape, for example, from an horizontal line to a triangular shape. Gradually, they are going to come in their position. Like I said, when they change the shape of the team to be a triangular shape, they may take a different radius and distance. We must guarantee 2 airplanes in a group come on their position simultaneously. There will be a charging, and they are gonna turning in air. This is a triangular team. It's going to be a diving with this triangular team. And today, since we have good weather, we are going to have a somersault. It's more difficult because it requires higher vertical capacity at about 4 to 5 G. For such a maneuver of somersault is like the typical maneuver for the airplanes tactically. And also somersault maneuver requires the airplane to change their power. For an individual airplane, can it manage such a somersault? It's much easier for an individual airplane at lower altitude. But for the group of airplanes, it has higher requirements with heavier capacity. It's in the horizontal and vertical direction. It's just like running directly into the clouds. They have left behind a very beautiful curve in the air. It's a vivid showcase of the performance of the airplanes with the plumes. The wake plumes are left in the side of the audience. What is going to be the next move? There will be the group by group showcase. It's changing its direction to face our podium. So that is number 1 airplane, yes. Again, we are at the 12th Airshow China on site. We are now watching the Bayi Aerobatics team's airshow. Pilot Shen Yun from Bayi Aerobatics team is with me for the interpretation. Now 6 fighters are in their position. They are getting ready for group by group moving. It's very spectacular. Number 5 and number 6 and the other 4 airplanes form a shape. 6 airplanes take an horizontal charging to form a flowering shape. Number 5 and number 6 are facing each other and crossing by.
度达到300公里将近。
现在是去编队了。那么接下来的动作会是一个什么样的动作？
接下来动作会是一个4机的。
Now they are teaming up. What is going to be the next move? There will be
现在4架飞机
4
进
airplanes
行的是4机的编队横滚。
rolling
这个动作难度
together.
相当大一些。
We are seeing the 4 airplanes preparing for the rolling maneuver. It's more difficult. There will be the change of maneuver and position for the head airplanes. So for the 2 airplanes on 2 sides, they're going to be put in a difficult position. It really requires the pilot to have high controlling power of the direction. And also for the head plane, it's like a leader, so it must be steady when they change directions. So that's going to be easier for the 2 airplanes behind.
但对于来说，这个动作在3架机上做，跟在教练机上相对来说有点区别。
区别在什么？
它因为高空高速3角翼的飞机。
It's of course different for such a maneuver to be practiced by the trainer airplane because it's at high altitude and high velocity because of the dynamics and mechanics of the airplanes is going to be totally different. For the horizontal rolling, you could see it's practiced by number 5 jet. You could see it's pressurizing with the stress.
到100米高度左右的时候，进行一个加力的盘旋，半径很小。
At about 100 meters height, they are going to have a thrust charging. The radius is about 200 to 300 meters.
这坡度接近于90度。
And the slope angle is almost 90 degrees. So it's really challenging for the pilot. With such a large angle to take a turn, it's rather challenging. For such continuous changing course and heavy capacity and turning, that's almost beyond our imagination for us common people. And for the pilots, they also need to endure years of practices and training.
Now 4架飞机将做一个左侧的左转左上的一个斜顶斗。
4 airplanes are going to take a left turn with the curve leaving behind.
今天的天真的太好了，看这种光环。
天空作美。
It's really a clear day. Such a clear day is very beneficial for the air show.
这个是一个5号机的一个
半筋斗翻转，
它进行一个垂直向上的一个横滚。
This is number 5 jet. It's taking a somersault and it's doing a barrel rolling in the vertical direction. And then diving.
各位网友，大家上午好，我们现在是在第12届中国国际航空航天博览会的现场。大家现在看到的是Bayi飞行表演队驾驶歼10
Airshow China.
正在进行飞行表演。
Now, the Bayi Aerobatics team J10 Performing airplane is taking its show, and this is number 6 jet's barrel rolling. Usually, you arrange number 6 jet with the highest difficulty. Usually it's the case because for number 5 and number 6 jet, they need to showcase the extreme capacities of those airplanes. That's why we will arrange the most difficult tasks for number 5 and number 6. Do they have to roll for 90 degrees? Yes. At that 90 degrees, they need to roll for 4 times. And then the 4 airplanes need to roll together for once. They're not piling up together. They're taking a barrel rolling simultaneously and for 360 degrees. And now we are seeing an horizontal flight at lower speed. At lower speed, we could see that at about 200 kilometers per hour, those airplanes can have a level flight. This is a big elevation angle at small speed. It's usually ranging from 200 to 220 kilometers. This airplane looks like a gentleman walking in the clouds. It's elegant. Such a move could also show the stability of J10 in some extreme conditions and also showcase the pilot's skills. They have changed a little bit according to the plan. They should have a flowering in a vertical direction. At different angles, the 4 airplanes depart from each other and form such a flower shape. It's quite a test of the pilot's concentration capacity and their team spirit. At a vertical angle at 90 degrees, those pilots cannot see the others. What they can only see is the blue sky in the air. They cannot see the other airplanes because when we have an elevation angle of 90 degrees, they cannot watch the panel anymore. They have to rely on their instinct and their trust on their team members. In your daily exercises, how many times do you have to exercise per week? At least 2 to 3 days. For this move? Yes. Now number 6 airplane is doing an elevation and barrel rolling for several times during the elevation. They will take a turn at about 250 degrees, and they can manage such a rolling for 250 degrees within 3.6 seconds. For such a climbing and rolling, that's quite a challenge. J10 is an independently developed light aerial fighter. It can endure high pressure and electric transmission that could guarantee accurate flight with rapid turning at large angles. Now we are facing the camera to perform an horizontal flowering. They are leaving behind the different colors of plumes, and they represent the courage and passion and wisdom. They are flying freely in the air.
现在看到的是6号机以放起落架的形式进行1米通场，把起落架放下来。
把起落架放下来了，小航线着陆。
Number 6 airplane
直接进行通场，
It's
高度
landing.
很低啊，看飞机在跑道上。
这个验证
It's
了飞机
putting
的
down
什么
the undercart
这就是一
for
个稳定
landing.
性。
稳定性，确实离现场
So what is the functionality for this fighter?
然后
It
6号
will
机
test
就
the
收起落架
stability of
加
the
入
fighter.
准备着陆。
Right now, number 6 is ready for landing.
Today 今天是珠海航展的专业日，我们在现场看到很多的这专业观众，长枪短炮，来一起在观看。
You can see there are many professionals. They are taking cameras to record this moment
现在
for
过来
the
是双机，
first performance that was delivered by Bayi Aerobatics
4
team.
号机带着2号机进行一个
Now
着陆
we
解
have
散的一个
seen 2 airplanes, number 2 and 4.
目前的表演
They're also ready for landing.
动作基本快飞完了，
是，这是都是一个着陆解散的动作。由后面那架
So
2
we
号
have
机先拉起，
completed most of the
飞机向上
performance.
拉起，然后加入航线，
Now they're ready for
进行一个
departure.
小航线着陆。
So first, number 2 will lift the elevation,
航线宽度一般在
and the
1.5
other
米左右
aircraft is ready
这
for
也是展现
landing.
了一个飞机的一个性能和转弯半径。后3机
And the trajectory of the runway is
3
around
号机
1.5 kilometers in width. And now we are waiting for the other 3 aircraft for landing, the number 1, 3, and 5.
向上拉起，进行1圈半的滚转，加入航线。
Alright, elevation, 1.5 circle of the rolling.
Ah, 进行落地了。
真落地了。整个落地也是按照刚才起飞的这个编
Alright,
队来
it's about to land.
不是，是刚才解散的那个间隔。
So for the landing procedure, does it also in accordance of the departure formation? Not exactly. Very stable.
减速伞放出来之后，有帮助缩短滑跑距离。
So they're launching a parachute to lower the speed for the landing.
然后6架飞机陆续的返回。
陆续返回。滑到专门的投伞人员身边的时候，想减速伞。
Now we can see the 6 aircraft are gradually landing one by one.
位网友，大家上午好！我们现在是在第12届中国国际航空航天博览会的现场。
Dear viewers, good morning. Now we are at the 12th China International Aviation and Aerospace exhibition. And today we have another presenter, Mr. Wang, from Aerobatics team. And J10B is about to depart. It will have a self-developed vortex propeller. So for viewers, they may be familiar with J10, but may not be familiar about the J10B. Well, we do have some static demonstration of J10B, but it is the first time that we see some aerobatics for J10B. So now we can see the jetter is about to depart. Now you can see it is accelerating and with a high angle elevation. It's very high angle. And during the elevation process, you can see this aircraft, it just has done a very small angle somersault, meaning that the maneuvering capability is very strong for this aircraft. This is because we have installed a TVC engine inside of the aircraft. So this is a very excellent performance. So TVC engine is also self-developed by China. We're very proud of the thrust vector control engine. It is actually a breakthrough in China's aviation industry. The TVC engine will help to improve the combat capability and the flight capability for J10 as well as the J10B. Just as we mentioned, it is a breakthrough for the aviation industry of China. So what are the features for the TVC engine? So by using the TVC engine, it can help the aircraft to change its orientation immediately. With the thrust vector control engine, it can change the control trajectory of the aircraft. Therefore, the targeted area can be changed by the aircraft. And also it can help to change the direction for the air-to-air combat as well as the air-to-surface attack. And also we can see a very nice tail section for this aircraft. You can see a very good demonstration for the property of the flying capacity. So all of the orientation and direction can be controlled in a convenient way for the pilot. So this is the major contribution that was made by the TVC engine developed by China. Now you can see the aircraft is doing another type of high angle turns. So I think if all of this can be done in a formation flight, it will be more magnificent. Sometimes when you are seeing a high angle elevation, it will generate a high speed of the aircraft. And we have just done a very difficult maneuvering operation. It is in a snake shape for the high angle elevation. You can tell the high angle from the airflow of the aircraft. It is very flexible for the aircraft. It is also showcased the strong property for the TVC engine. Without TVC engine, this kind of maneuvering move cannot be happened. So with the TVC engine, it can improve the flexibility of the aircraft.
第一次来感受国产推力实燃发动机的一个首次的公开的亮相。
Today we feel very proud and very honored to see the debut of the TVC engine as well as the performance of J10B. Very excellent demonstration of TVC engine. It is quite impressive. So China's Air Force, as well as Chinese people, will be very proud of the invention of TVC engine. Let's check out the airflow of the aircraft. This is a very typical move for the maneuvering of the aircraft. This is quite impressive. So, what are the future applications for the TVC engine? So now we have a successful application of TVC engine in J10B. And in the future, we will have J10C, and pretty soon we will have a invisible fighter J20. I think in the future, if we can install the TVC engine into those aircraft, it will help to improve the combat capability for all of those aircraft. This will also showcase the breakthrough and the strong development for the China's developments in aerospace and aviation industry. We believe everyone is very excited about this invention and the breakthrough. I think today is a milestone for China. Every one of us feel very impressed about the performance of the TVC engine. So what is the development time for the TVC engine? Well, it takes a long time for Chinese people, and it is the debut for TVC engine. It takes a long time for us to develop this kind of engine. It is not just a simple engine. We have to make sure that the engine is working effectively with the control system. Well, we just hear a strong applause on site. We feel very happy, we feel very proud of the development of the aviation industry in China. We want to show our respect of the scientific people. And today we have witnessed all of these achievements in China Airshow in Zhuhai.
This is not only a technical advancement, it also has strategic significance. It represents the cutting-edge Chinese capacity in the engine development. Good morning, everyone. We are on the side of the 12th China International Aviation and Aerospace exhibition, and with me we have Mr. Wang Mingzhi, a military expert. Just now we are seeing J10B's first presence in this airshow. It's also its first debut in front of our public. We have a question from the viewers. For domestic airplanes, they have three-dimensional vectors, but in the US, they adopt 2D vectors. Are they the same technology? For airplanes like F-22, one key feature is its mechanical performance. As to 3D, it's just a full image, hologram, and also when it takes a turn, it could have better control. And technically, it's more complex than the 2D vectors. So that's an extension of the technology. It could also demonstrate China's aviation development technology advancement. After introducing the overseas experience and technologies, China could better upgrade them. Some of our viewers are really following our technology. They say that our 3D vector technology is the most cutting edge in the world. They are very proud of China's progress. Now we are seeing it's gliding back to its position. Next, we're going to watch the Red Falcon demonstration according to the plan. is already waiting in the starting line.
然后我们都可以听到现场观众的这种呐喊声。
The audience on site are cheering up. We could feel the pride of the Chinese people to watch so many airliners with the most advanced engines and they are flying in the blue sky. Exactly, I come from the Air Force, so I could share that feeling. For China's PLA Air Force with such jets, our fighting and combat capacity will be boosted, and China will have better defense in air. Just 5 minutes was such a blink of an eye to watch such a game. It's a historical 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Now we are waiting for the Red Falcon Air Demonstration team to take off. Could you introduce to us about the Red Falcon Air Demonstration team? What is its relationship with Bayi Aerobatics team? We have different teams. For example, Bayi Aerobatics team, and for the Red Falcon Air Demonstration team is from Beihang University, and it's just like an academic representative in the demonstration teams. It could showcase the performance of the trainers and coaches. With so many graduate students in Beihang University, they could train the pilots. We have seen Yang Liwei, Zhai Zhigang, and Nie Haisheng, Liu Wang, Liu Yang, and other pilots graduating from Beihang University. Most of those pilots of Chinese Air Force were graduated from Beihang University. Yang Liwei is a good example of the pilots, and they are the graduates of this university. Now we are seeing the airplanes are gliding. We're gonna see the whole team taking off. For J8, what is the difference between the training planes and the other aircrafts? For the training aircrafts compared to J10, the training aircrafts will be slower in speed. The 4 planes are already taking off. They usually remain in a team in taking off. The pilots are now changing their position in the team. They're gonna change to the performance mode. 8 airplanes have completed their gathering, with 4 airplanes in the first group and the remaining for the second group. In total, they have 8 airplanes for the Falcon demonstration team. There used to be 9 airplanes forming a team together. They could choose the number with their own will. It's just that they take different forms to send such an image to our audience. We could even see the pilots sitting in their cabin in such a clear day with our camera. It's real-time shooting. Now we have 8 airplanes in the air. They're taking a turn in a team. When they take a turn together, they remain similar angles. Because at different positions, they have different radius of turning. But for a whole team to take a turn together, it's rather difficult. It could allow the pilots to showcase their cohesion. And now they are giving greetings to our audience nationwide. It's a specific etiquette of the Air Force China. They would not only showcase the beauty, but also the speed of those airplanes against the blue sky. In such a consistent manner, we could see the order and the beauty of Air Force. It's really a visual feat. We are in a new era for aviation sector. Aviation and aerospace are bringing charms to our people, and Bayi Aerobatics team and Red Falcon Air Demonstration team are actually exhibiting the national audience about the beauty of taking a flight, and it could attract more youngsters to join the Air Force team to safeguard the blue sky of China together. Everyone, particularly the boys, must have a dream of being a pilot since they are very young. Indeed. Because this is a really challenging field. Not only the boys who want to be pilots, even girls wanted to become a pilot when they grow up. If we have more youngsters joining us, China's Air Force will have sustainable development. So we do hope that more excited youngsters would be willing to join China Air Force and be one of us. China Air Force is really proud. What is the move right now? After rising up, they're going to take a right turn. It's also a very consistent move. We would also see the tracks and traces of all the 8 airplanes. They take a right turn together. Like I said, in different positions, they have different turning radius. This has high requirement of the consistency of all airplanes. They would also change positions when they take the turn. Now they are in a different shape. If you hear the sound of those airplanes, they're different from J10. It's not that noisy, because usually the J10 series of airplanes have higher power. That's why they're more noisy. And for the trainer's airplane, they have less power. But does it mean the training machine could do more moves? Whether it's training airplanes or the jets, they could perform different maneuvers. The only difference lies in their different speed. In front of the podium, they're doing a hovering. They're taking a diamond shape to do the circling and hovering. That move is actually designed to pay tribute and say hello to the guests sitting in the front. This move could demonstrate the high quality of those pilots. They could perform such a move with 8 airplanes in a team together. So that is a true showcase of those pilots and the coach's performance capacity. It requires team play, indeed. They must trust on each other and to perform such a move together. For Air Force, particularly for pilots, the key is their cooperation in a team. In the aerial combat, the success does not rely on one single airplane. It requires cooperation between different teams, between different planes, particularly those special airplanes. So it's not an era of one hero anymore. In such an era, we certainly need such a heroic spirit, but more importantly, we need coordination. That's what we have been highlighting for so many years. While holding high the banner of heroism, we must also champion the spirit of teamwork to rise up to the challenge together. For the training plane, what is the level of the training plane in the total product portfolio in China? They're showcasing the vertical mechanical capacities of those training planes. They're doing a somersault in a team after elevation. at certain height, they're going to perform such a somersault and also leave behind such a circle. Because we have a good sunlight and the blue sky, that reinforce the traces left behind by those airplanes. It's wonderful. Those airplanes have short distance between each other, so in a whole team, they have accurate control of the distance. How small is the distance? Usually, it's about 5 to 7 meters in between two planes. Of course, there may be some height difference. They're now changing their shape again. From 8 airplanes to 6 airplanes, 2 individual airplanes team up together. There will be different performances later on. There will be 2 groups, one with 6 airplanes, the other with 2 airplanes. They are now changing their distance to prepare for the next round of performance. For training plane number 8 is quite a high-level training plane. It's an upgraded version of number 6 training plane. And usually, after we complete the upgrading at the level of J7, we are going to have J11, J10, and J16 to train our planes to be in a combat model. And at that time, they could perform some combat tasks. Such a demonstration attracts a lot of audience coming here. We could see many audience are taking cameras. This is the charm of aviation. Like we said, everyone has such a flying dream. They're passing by the airport, 2 airplanes crossing by each other head-on, and then they take the elevation together in 2 different positions. This shows that when pilots are flying in different directions, they could accurately control the traces and track of the airplane. But the first priority is to guarantee the safetiness. 2 different pilots control 2 airplanes in such a limited space, and they cross by each other head-on. That needs courage.
So it is an immediate encountering, and now you can see the formation is actually emits the smoke trails. Very nice barrel rolling. Now we have the 6 airplane formation. So it is a barrel rolling within the formation. So each one of the airplane have conducted a barrel roll on itself. So for the horizontal rolling, the trajectory will be changed. So this requires a higher level of the pilots for the steering skills. If the rolling are not completed simultaneously, it will change the distance between different aircrafts. Now it is a high-speed passing of the podium. And they made the elevation immediately, followed by a barrel rolling. 2-3 times of rolling. They showcase the vertical maneuvering capability of the aircraft.
大家现在正在看到的是红鹰飞行表演队正在进行飞
Dear
行表演。
viewers, good morning. Now we are at the 12th China International Aviation and Aerospace Exhibition. Now we are seeing the performance that was delivered by the Red Falcon. We have a military expert, Mr. Huang, joining us for the interpretation of the performance. Now we see the 5 aircraft formation performance. Now they are doing the smoke trails. Right, we can see the 2 aircrafts are circling around the other 3 aircrafts and doing a barrel rolling. This shows the consistency of the flying of the 5 aircrafts. This requires the high-level skills in driving the aircrafts, especially for the 2 aircrafts which are coordinating with the other 3 aircrafts. After the 2 aircraft completed the barrel rolling, these 2 aircraft have to join the other 3 for the formation flying. Now we can see the 2 has maintained a steady flying and the other 3 are doing the barrel rolling. And you can see the other 3 are doing a constant barrel rolling alongside with the other 2 aircrafts. Now the other 2 are going back to the formation. So all the performance moves are quite consistent, very excellent performance. And for the Red Falcon team, this consists of trainers. As you have just mentioned, we have different variety of the trainer jets, the TJ6 to TJ8. And we also have developed a fighter-type trainer jet. For trainer 6 and 8, these will be used in the combat troops. So for the combat troops, they will use the trainer jet for practices and trainings. And for the aviation universities, they will use a junior type of trainer jet as well as a senior type of the trainer jet. After the pilots are graduating from the aviation university, they will take different type of trainer jets. Alright, as you can see, this aircraft has just made a somersault, and it showcased a very strong capability of maneuvering in a vertical position. And also, these aircrafts are showing a blooming trajectory to show respect to our audience. This also showcases strong coordination between the pilots and also the strong capability for the aircrafts for the maneuvering. And we have just enjoyed the beautiful performance that was delivered by Bayi Aerobatics team. Now we are seeing another excellent performance delivered by the Red Falcon Air Demonstration team. And today we do have a visual feast on the sky in Zhuhai. For military fans, this is the day you could never miss. Actually, we can hear the cheering up from the audience. And today we have experienced the charm from the aviation industry in China. And also we can feel the passion, the aspiration, and the support from the Chinese people. This is also drives the development for the Air Force in China. So only by having a strong military troops that Chinese people can enjoy a better life. Dear viewers, good morning. Now we're at the 12th Airshow China. Now we are seeing the excellent aerobatics performance delivered by the Red Falcon air demonstration team. Pretty soon we will see the formation demonstration, and we also have Mr. Wang as a special guest for the interpretation. And now we have a large-size UAV, which is the wing-long UAV. After changing the formation, we can see we have 4 aircrafts in the formation, while they're making a blooming trajectory upwards. It shows the vertical maneuvering elevation from the aircrafts. They're actually making a flower shape up in the sky. We do see a lot of demonstration for the blooming trajectory from the Red Falcon team. And also they're doing a horizontal blooming trajectory delivered by Red Falcon. So they're doing this kind of blooming trajectory from different directions. By using different angles, they actually showcase the charm of the aviation and also showcase the high level of skills of the pilots. And for the Air Force of China, they would like to demonstrate their skills to the people in China as well as the people to the world. Let's look forward to their excellent performance. Alright, we just have a 2 aircraft low altitude encountering. It's very difficult to do it with 2 aircrafts because it requires high level of skills for 4 pilots. They have to control the distance between the aircrafts to make sure that all of the moves are conducted in a safety manner. Another flower shape in the shape of a heart, very beautiful. And we have just seen a heart shape that was created by the Red Falcon air demonstration team. And also you can see another aircraft just passing through the heart. This also shows the care and love from the Chinese Air Force to Chinese people. The Air Force loves China, loves Chinese people, as well as the blue sky. The blue sky is the platform for them to demonstrate themselves, and their duty is to safeguard the blue sky in China. And at the same time, they also showcase their passion, and their determination and willingness. Now the Red Falcon is doing a horizontal rolling on the sky. It shows the capability of rolling, maneuvering of the aircraft. It's very beautiful, especially with the colorful smoke trails. So from the trails, you can tell all of these changes of the move are very complicated. Actually, we have designed different kind of strategy in doing this kind of stunts. By doing a barrel rolling, we can actually surpass the aircrafts from the enemies. elevation and change the position from a horizontal level to a vertical level. And you can tell the huge engine that was provided by the aircraft. And it has just finished by a somersault. For the Airshow China, it does not only showcase the capability of the pilots, but also showcase the strong capability of China's aviation industry. So for the aerobatics, it actually started pretty early. At the beginning, in order to sell some flying equipment, Europe organized the first type of the aerobatics performance. By organizing this kind of aerobatics competition, it can showcase the property of the aircraft. Currently, each country owns a different type of aerobatics team, and as we have just said, the aerobatics team can be considered as the guard of honors. And for other countries, they also will organize a training-based air demonstration. And the demonstration will be divided into different levels. It is very beautiful in seeing all of this performance. If you can choose the good angle, you can see the magnificent view of the aerobatics performance. Of course, you have to choose a very good position and angle. For some of the military fans, they will take a very favorable location so that they can take the best photos for the performance. Means that these people must be very familiar with the air show in Zhuhai. As we can see, with the development of the aviation industry in China, more and more people are attracted by this kind of expo.
The Red Falcon Air Demonstration team are landing steadily. This is the first plane landing. This is the first time for the Red Falcon Air Demonstration team to come to Zhuhai, right? Yes, usually they would demonstrate in Changchun every September or the end of August. During the orientation of the new pilots, they would have a demonstration to welcome those newbies to join their team. That is a very high-level ceremony to welcome the newbies because those new pilots represent the future of China. They are the drivers of sustainable aviation development in China. That's why usually the coaches and the trainers will have such a celebration to welcome them. I believe after their graduation, some of those students will become coaches themselves. Maybe one member of the Red Falcon Air Demonstration team. That's why usually those people pay close attention to the development of Red Falcon team.
航空航天博览会的现场，我是央视新闻的记者崔霞。今天和我一起担任解说嘉宾的是中国空军军事专家王明志先生。
大家好。
Hello everyone, my name is Cui Xia from CCTV. With me, we have military expert Mr. Wang Mingzhi. Welcome, Mr. Wang. Today, Zhuhai is having a good weather, and on the site we are seeing the Air Force China, like Yun 20 and Yun 9. On the left side of the camera is the radar. And also we have an armed helicopter. And now we are zooming in to look at the Yunlong airplane. This is HG600, the big airplane in China. Not long ago, this airplane has completed the first debut on the water. Later on, there will be some mysterious airplane joining us. J10. J10 will fly above the land in Zhuhai. Please stay tuned with us. The 12th Airshow China in Zhuhai will last between the 6th to the 11th of November. The audiences and the spectators are taking their cameras to wait for J10. The J10 is also in the camera, as well as the Red Falcon airplanes. The Trainer 8 is here. From 10 to 10 until now, 1 hour has passed by, and in that 1 hour, we have seen a lot of aerial performance by those planes, and with such a good weather. With high visibility, that's why people could enjoy a very complete air show. You could completely watch the Bayi Aerobatics team's performance and J10B, that is typical of the third generation, and also the academic performance from teams like Red Falcon. And very soon, there will be the stealth airplanes joining us. In 2016, such a stealth airplane has passed by Zhuhai very shortly, and this time it would take more time to showcase its details in front of our netizens and the spectators on site. I heard there were about 15 minutes performance. That's a rare chance. Mr. Wang, how many times have you come to the air shows? 3. Every time you come, you must be impressed as well. Indeed. I heard that J20 is with us. The J20 is passing by the airport. Very soon, it is gonna perform a lot of maneuvers. J20 is steadily flying with the lights on. It has 3 airplanes in the formation passing by. And this is the buzzing sound. We can even hear it in our hotels. One airplane is taking a vertical charge and elevation. The other 2 are taking a turn. It's impressive. When I was in my hotel, I could still hear the sound of the engines. It's hovering in the left, and then it's taking a level flight, and all of our spectators are taking their cameras to videotape. It's taking a level flight above the airport after taking a turn, and then again hovering in the left. With those moves, we could feel the horizontal performance of J20. And also the new coatings of J20 could be seen. Within such a small space, J20 airplanes are taking a left hovering again, showcasing their superb mechanical performance. The flights are quite steady. This is the first time for J20 to make its presence in an air show, yes. Still showcasing its flexibility. Now starting to perform in the vertical direction. Many moves in the vertical direction, like elevation, taking turns vertically. Level flight. Climbing left. It's quite noisy. This showcases the high power of G20. Now, the flexibility and stability. Taking a turn. The turning radius is quite small. G20. This is, after all, a very rare opportunity for the spectators. And today is the first day of the air show. During the military parade on September the 3rd, these formations have received the investigation of President Xi Jinping. On the exact day of the opening ceremony of the 12th Airshow China, we are seeing such a clear day for the performance. I think all of these spectators and netizens in front of this TV must have met their expectations from this airshow. To this air show.
So actually it is a gift that presented by the Air Force of China. And we will have a civil passenger aircraft performance, which is the ARG developed by China.